Well, you guys asked for more updates, so here you go. Here's the orange 69 Suburban 12 Hydro-Trac prototype. Finally starting to take shape. I got the hitch plate cut off today. I found out why they welded it to the frame, and that was because the nut certs, or whatever you want to call these, the speed nuts that were spot welded to the frame, the bolts are broken off in them. So the lower mounts had those like spot welded in nuts, so I whacked them off with a hammer and I welded in regular nuts all the way around, so that's done. I still have to get nuts to weld in for the top because both of those are been whacked off as well. But other than that, that's done. There's a hole right about here that was in the hitch plate that got welded up. The frame itself, there was a little notch cut in the frame right on the top part there. Patched that up. I didn't really care about grinding the bottom side down yet. I put a little bit of putty on it just to smooth it out. And I used an old section of tractor frame. See, there's benefits to keeping things like that section of 18.6 frame from when I made the 3-cylinder diesel, because that's the same thickness frame as the rest of this. It might just be a slight bit thinner, but hey, it works great for things like that. That way I'm not sitting there grinding it down. I don't have metal that's way too thick or way too thin. And I just got done doing a little bit of paint work on the inside of the frame, getting the steering components mostly just first coat on, really. Nothing fancy, but she's coming along good. The front frame I didn't really have to do anything to. The other thing I had to do to this tractor is, if you guys remember, this tractor was actually what was nicknamed the Packer Hydro. It said Green Bay Packers on the fenders, and one of the running boards was all tweaked, and this mount here was not attached to where it is. It was broken off, and somebody welded it on kind of crooked right to the side of the frame, probably about a 1/4 inch up. So I whacked that off with the cut-off wheel, and I welded it back on and contoured it so it really doesn't look like it's ever been a problem. So hopefully it holds up. And what I did to make sure that it was level from side to side, so I have an old steering shaft here. I have no idea what it came out of, but I took 2 vice grips. I vice gripped the steering shaft to one side, and I vice gripped the plate to the steering shaft on the other, and I used the steering shaft to also make sure that I had it perfectly in line. And then I just throw a bead of weld down 2/3 of it, pulled the steering shaft off, finished welding it up, and I actually welded it on the top side too, because there's a small gap between the plate and the frame, so I welded in there too to try and help reinforce it. And other than that, that's all that's really new with this tractor. I've been working on the Exonia Vintage Tractor Expo raffle tractor, and Joe and I pretty much got that tractor done. I mean, it just has some little things left, like decals and some little paint touch-ups and whatnot. But other than that, that tractor's pretty much done. And I didn't get home here until about 11 o'clock last night, so I spent a good 8 hours thrashing on that thing yesterday, and we made a lot of progress. And honestly, that gave me the motivation to want to get this thing out now that there is some room in the garage. Yes, I'm still trying to clean up and get rid of some boat anchors. Like, I need to finish tearing this engine down and decide whether it's rebuildable or if I just want to pull some parts and then scrap the rest of it, because I need like the flywheel and whatnot for the 3-cylinder diesel that's right there. But anyhow, that's all I have for your Sears Suburban Saturday update. And stay tuned, because there's going to be some more color going on this thing before too long, and hopefully it's going to start looking like a tractor again, which will be real exciting. So until then, I'll catch you guys later.